Denied his
Oh,
humility.
no.
He's got to win it out now. But so difficult, so damn hard, and it's the 13-0.
No! Not like this.
Loud are still the only team in VCT Americas and one of 3 teams in the world to stay undefeated. Loud are extremely fun to watch because they don't necessarily strive to make flawless tactical plays. Instead, they focus on the most fundamental aspect of Team Valorant, fighting together. And when I say fighting together, I don't mean the simple trade me or bait me call. In this video, I'll show you how Loud play off of each other flawlessly, and break down the tactical calls that Sadhack makes to set themselves up for insane fights. This video is sponsored by Gosu Academy, more on them at the end of the video. Let's start by taking a look at this string of rounds in Loud's VCT match against C9. Down 0-7 on split, Loud are on an eco against C9's maxed out economy. We see a great showcase of proactive defense from Loud that doesn't result in an overextension. Initially set up to fight B main, Toys eventually pushes through after sound is heard near mid. Without over-peeking, he gathers some information but also helps sneak Sadhack with a judge onto the close angle. Because Toys did not peek too deep for info, Jake did not end up seeing him, so C9 still think that Loud don't have great information in B main. Once Kawanzin sky flashes mid and hears no one there, the rest of Loud immediately rotate to A and 4-stack it, committing to fighting them on sight. C9 walk to A and even throw the Astral Wall B to try and sell the fake, but Loud were completely prepared for the A hit. Aspas gets a great opening kill and C9 try to flood onto site. You can see how the other Loud members are hidden from the initial angles, so C9 are baited to commit into the site. Once Zeppa flies into back site, everyone from Loud peeks from 4 angles simultaneously. Watch how Tui's takes one shot, then less peeks while Tui strafes back. This round showcased proactive mid-round info from Loud, which set them up to take a huge team fight and win their eco. In the next round, Loud used Viper ult to deny any A main control and explicitly set up to fight for B main. Aspas holds male passively, and although he gets a free kill, you can see that there are multiple holes in Loud's setup. But despite that, Loud make it work by being extremely aggressive and fighting into B lobby, forcing Rooney and Jake into a tough position. Watch this double swing where Tui's knows to go extremely wide to create the perfect spacing for Kawanzin. There is no player in the world that can win this 1v2 unless Rooney can dual wield rifles. He technically could have ran with the bomb, but was roped into a tough position due to Loud's setup and aggression. This round is arguably imperfect from a tactical point of view, since there are multiple holes in Loud's setup that could have been exploited. But I love these types of calls as it puts C9 in such an uncomfortable position. These aggressive calls make your opponents have to throw their map theory out the window. We can see them make another call like this in the following round, where 4 Loud members push down mid to support Aspas for his op peak. There's absolutely no one playing B at this point, which is by far the harder site to retake on split. But C9 don't even know that. They don't expect that B is left completely open, and get scared to pop while sitting in the Astra smoke. Late round info from Sadhack in mid and Kawanzin's sky flash in B main preps Loud for the B stack, and despite the breach ult, C9 are just running into a crossfire again.
Twiz also didn't, but still gets a crossfire with Sadhack. What are they doing? Perfect for 2 more kills. And now with the Nebula, it's forced.
In the last round of the half, C9 hide information well, and Loud make the wrong read. As a result, they have to fully retake A. Let's take a look at their insane spacing again when Loud pushed the smoke to retake A. Sky flashes out and goes all the way wide to make room. Sadhack knows to exit just right of the smoke, and Aspas is ready to pop out the left of the smoke when his team makes contact. This perfect entry spacing was set up within seconds, and Loud had to push through the smoke. Rooney is the unfortunate one again to get completely check-baited by Loud's positioning, and Loud win the retake to bring the half back to 4-8 when they were initially down 0-7. Let's also take a look at the Sentinels versus Loud match. We can also see how well Loud work together in smaller fights. In this 2v2 retake for B site, Cowanzine just pre-fires 2 shots here even though he is never committed to fighting. This seemingly small gesture pulls Sassy's attention to the left side of A Link, and in that instant, Aspas peeks from the right side and kills Sassy. In the 2v1 to close out the round, Aspas is the one to updraft on top B, but doesn't look for the fight too quickly. Cowanzine stays silent and finds the timing where Pancada is worried about the peek from above, and they win the retake in this key round. This C retake at match point shows us again that Loud have their entry spacing down perfectly. Loud come out of the defender spawn smoke in the same formation that we saw before, with Cowanzine flashing and going wide while Sadhak comes just outside of the smoke. This again creates the perfect 2v1 spacing, and Def has absolutely no chance to win this fight. You can also see Toys sitting in the smoke waiting to come out third off the information from his teammates, just like Aspas in the split retake. Loud close out this game with huge rounds like this, which are completely won through fighting together flawlessly. Check out this amazing post plant played by Loud on Ascent B site. Zekin is walking out lane, and both backside players make their positions known with non-committal fights. Both backside players hide, and while Zekin is worried about the double swing, Sova on site kills Zekin for free. Sova is then traded by Def, and then the backside players hide again. Omen was initially holding stairs, but he smokes it and turns to take contact on lane, while the backside player whose position was already known is now the one holding stairs. Def also walks out lane and dies to Omen this time. The constant slight readjustments throughout the entire post plant by Loud completely destroy Sentinels trying to retake. In their match against EG, we see several key rounds on Haven taken by Loud through more flawless teamfighting. Against the KJ ult retake down 3-4, Sadhak gets detained but doesn't even try to back off at all to act as bait for Cowanzine, who decides wisely against the flash at the last second to hide his position. In the end, Boostio doesn't even kill Sadhak. Loud gets the ideal scenario in so many fights, where teammates are not baited or traded, they're actually saved and no one ends up dying. Take a look at this anti-peek setup from Loud. In this 3v3 retake on C, Aspas goes for a jump peek default and dashes back immediately. This baits Boostio to try and swing while Aspas is recovering from his dash, but Les was patiently holding and ready for it the entire time. Immediately, the round becomes a 1v3 for Loud. Les seems like the master of these anti-peek setups. In their Pearl game against EG, you can see him sneak up on the side of this harbor wall and is completely ready for the flash play. He gets 2 here, and again, Loud's ideal spacing makes it very hard for EG to kill the other Loud members despite them being full flashed. Down 7-8 and on eco, Sadhak makes another one of his amazing calls to completely flip rounds in this Haven game. Loud start 4-man mid and make it obvious that they're stacked, making EG scared to simply fight for mid control. Immediately, Sadhak calls for all 4 to run A and set up to fight, hard reading the rotate. 3 Loud members hold different off angles for long and completely destroy EG trying to come out. If Loud did not convert this eco, the game would have been even closer as Loud were already down 0-1 in this series. A huge round won again with amazing calling from Sadhak to set them up for a big fight. Of course, this risky calling won't always pan out. Sentinels were ready for this aggressive 4-man push down mid, and this eventually cost Loud the pistol round without Sentinels having to do much except be ready for a push. But still, Sadhak times these plays very well overall, and it means teams must always be aware of their crazy aggression. Finally, I think this Haven A retake from Loud is hands down the best example of fighting together I've ever seen. On match point against EG, Loud start retaking A. Sky is first seen in defender spawn, while Toys is pinged by the dart. While Toys is pinged and EG are distracted by it, Sadhak is actually the one who swings default first, but strafes back while the other 2 Loud members double swing at the same time for the first kill. Then despite the stun from Breach coming out, Loud do not freak out and continue to maintain the perfect checkmate spacing we saw multiple times before. Cowanzine then dogs from sight, and Calm basically gets double peeked again by Toys and the Skydog when he was originally ready for the fight. At that instant, Aspas finally peeks on the flank to close out the round and map. Sadhak's insane calling, paired with flawless teamfighting, gives Loud their World Championship identity. Because Fnatic ended up winning lock-in, it's easy to forget how Loud's aggression helped them come back in the series and also allowed them to go up 11-3 against Fnatic in the first place. Fnatic is the most tactically deep team in the world, but Loud's aggressive playstyle and insane reads from Sadhak can still throw a team like Fnatic off their game. Loud showed us the world's first 13-0 in a VCT League match so far, and it's a crazy statement to do so after EG almost had the chance to 2-0 them. This just shows how resilient Loud's playstyle is, and why every single team in the world is scared to play them. I'm excited to see how they'll end the season and what they'll look like in this year's Masters and Champions events. Hopefully this video gave you an idea of what playing off of each other really looks like. If you want to learn more about how to dominate like Loud, check out Gosu Academy's Valorant program, which unlocks weekly theory classes and in-depth VOD reviews from amazing top-tier coaches. The program also features an exclusive masterclass lecture from a Tier 1 franchised coach once per month. You'll also be able to participate in weekly Coach 10-mans with other students at your rank, where coaches will help you learn Team Valorant every step of the way. These 10-mans also have an in-house ELO system and monthly prizes, which is exactly the same environment that pros prefer to practice in rather than solo queue. Join Gosu Academy's educational and friendly community today. Use my code Platoon at checkout to receive your first month free.